Coach Pop, probably to this day, has had the biggest influence on me as a basketball coach. And I started working in San Antonio at a time where I was really passionate. I was becoming more and more passionate about coaching and coaching in the pros and hopefully in the NBA. So I was a sponge. I'd worked for a few other guys to appreciate what was going on there in San Antonio, and I think my relationship was kind of organic. It wasn't like, hey, come on in, here we go. It kind of took some time to observe and figure out a little bit of what was going on. And I think once that happened, there was just a wealth of knowledge and seeing him communicate. Well, I think when I was in the D-League, one of the things that we were asked to and I wanted to do was try to run some form of motion, which is essentially what you see in San Antonio. There's so much ball movement and it's such a good passing team that obviously we weren't going to replicate that. But I think the system there has adjusted to their personnel. You know, as Tim Duncan has moved away from the basket and become even more effective on the perimeter, the different things that they'll do to take advantage of their personnel. We didn't have that personnel in the D-League. It's a little different. And when we were in Atlanta, we had different personnel. We had one primary pick and roll player in Jeff Teague. So I think with our team, I see a number of guys that can play in pick and roll. I think you don't really know all the time until guys feel your confidence as a coach, and sometimes you have to give them confidence before they've earned it, so to say. I mean, so we've got some guys that can shoot the ball, absolutely. A few other guys that can play out on the perimeter and may not be shooting the ball as much, but maybe making plays out there is our hope. So you can always use more shooting. We've had a few players in the gym, which is, it's good for me to have a chance just to see guys face to face. Draft workouts, going around looking at homes, trying to get familiar with Salt Lake. I got lost today on my way to P.F. Chang's, so I know how to get from the hotel to the practice facility, and I know the arena, but I don't know where the entrance is yet. The beginning, just an introduction. Hey, hello, I'm Quin Snyder. I'm your coach, and some of the guys I've been able to catch up with on the phone. Others, as you said, I've been able to text and trade a couple messages with. So it's that process. I think there's an introductory point. Trust takes time, and I don't think players, coaches, people, you have to have some faith and trust, and then it really has to be earned. It's more about what you do than what you say. When you look at the NBA, there's only 30 cities, and you look at places that are attractive to you, not just the team, but the community, the city, the weather, the mountains. So this was a place that, frankly, I'd kind of had my eye on, so to speak, for a while. And so when Dennis called, I was obviously really excited. It's a team that, hopefully I can do a good job coaching some young guys. That's a challenge for me, and we got work to do, but I think it'll be a good chance for us all to grow. It's hard sometimes for bigs to play together if they're both kind of playing the same role. So they've got to adjust. We've got to adjust a little bit as far as how we want to use them. That's really something that we'll talk about this summer, and really my job is to put guys in the best position to succeed. And once we kind of make some of those decisions and figure out this is what we think works, then they got to work, and they got to work hard to be able to to make those plays. And from what I've seen from both those guys, that's something they'll do. And it's really a challenge for all of us to come together as a team and really click. I mean, you want to have it as quickly as you can. but it's really important not to skip steps along the way. We don't want to sacrifice kind of long-term success for anything short-term, and that's harder, you know, and that may mean, you know, having a younger team and kind of having some growing pains and winning a few games and losing a few that we think we should win, but we're not experienced enough, and I need to do a better job, we need to do a better job. But in the end, I think that's the right way to approach it, and, you know, I'd like to think that, you know, I hope to be here a long time. If I'm not here as long, you know, you want the team and the club, you know, to be a better place than when you started.